Hey everyone, my name is the Theme Park Evangelist. Well, I am temporarily back at home until Sunday night. Actually, Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be heading off to Kings Island and I'm going to be showing my in laws Kings Island for the very first time. Now, I will admit I'm very tired. One reason is I did try to sleep for 12 hours on a pull-out couch that's semi-comfortable. But the other side of the coin is when you go from sleeping for like a few hours to sleeping for 12 hours, whether it's on a not so comfortable surface or not, your body is usually pretty tired the next day. But by the day after that, your body is usually pretty good again. So just, imagine this. You go from sleeping from anywhere between 4 to 6 hours per night to 12 hours. Your body's going to be in shock for the remainder of the day. It's like, whoa. It's like you're awake but you're not awake. It's very hard to describe. But nonetheless, that was a very relaxing day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really glad I took the day off. Went back to Golden Corral for breakfast for the first time in 6 months. And it was very quiet over there when I did arrive. And when I got done there, or when we got done there, we did a little just looking around, got some stuff for Katie. And then about 4 o'clock, they left for Columbus. They're going to Columbus Zoo tomorrow. Katie and her parents, that is. And I will see them again on Sunday afternoon. So I am back home for that reason. They did check out of their hotel so they wouldn't be paying for it at the same time they're paying for this other one. And then they'll be staying back at the same hotel again starting Sunday night, and I'll be back with them again until Wednesday morning. So just really quick before I go into today's discussion, which is actually about how I met Vanita now, just so you guys know, I will be showing you guys what the continental breakfast looks like on Monday morning. However, though, that will not actually go live on YouTube until Tuesday. So I'm going to be filming on Monday morning, but I'm not going to upload it to YouTube until Tuesday morning, if that makes any sense. If you guys have seen my hotel vlog, the hotel looks very cozy. I really like it. I've really enjoyed staying there so far. Obviously, next week we'll have more of an opportunity. I still have to show you guys what the pool looks like. That's going to be another YouTube short. So make sure you check that out as well. And, obviously anything I'm saying right now, I'm going to be eventually posting on my Facebook page, facebook.com/thethemeparkevangelist. And if you're active on my community page, make sure you check there because I'm going to be announcing it there on there as well. So I am planning on going swimming in their community pool. Maybe not so much on Sunday night, but definitely going to try to get out there Monday night before it closes for the night. If not, then Tuesday for sure. So Tuesday we are going to the Ark. I am going to be busy in the morning. However, though, we will have time that evening into that night to go swimming. So worst case scenario, make sure you watch for a YouTube short for me about the pool Tuesday night. It's going to be called Checking Out My Hotel's Outdoor Pool. And yeah, you get the gist from there. And of course, the continental breakfast one, that's going to be called Checking Out My Hotel's Continental Breakfast. So, anyway, the next year I actually want to go over as far as what it was like for me to visit Central Florida as a Kentucky resident is I'm gonna be weird here and I'm gonna jump all the way to 2022. Now, the reason for that is because I really did not see Veneta all that much in 2021. I know, go figure, right? So I decided I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump to 2022 when I did see her a lot. Now, if I were going to be just talking about TJ and Kay, 2021 would be great. But I didn't see Veneta a whole lot in 2021, so we're going to jump all the way to 2022. So, first and foremost, I'm only going to be talking about the positives that came out of that trip. Nothing negative, even though that was like the worst trip I've ever had to Central Florida. There's a lot of positives that came out of that trip, and I really want to hit up on those with you guys. And mainly just talking about, like, why that trip really strengthened my friendship with Veneta. So that particular year, I did fly with Southwest again, and that year I actually came down twice. Now, we're not going to be talking about the second time because I didn't see them. I just spent time with family. But we're going to be talking about the very first time that I came down with Southwest, not the second time when I came down with Frontier. And the second time I came down, I did go with Ride Guardians, by the way. So make sure that we're getting our our times of the year correct. But anyway, so I literally, as soon as the plane landed, I let TJ know. He called me. We talked for a little bit. And then he picked me up from the airport. And nothing really exciting happened. That particular trip. I also spent a lot of time working on college homework. So it wasn't the most exciting trip ever. But at the end of the day, guess what? I got my associate's degree. So, I knew for a fact that I had to have everything done, or as much done as I could possibly, to be more specific, before Tuesday. And, Tuesday arrived, and that Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, to be more specific. So I had an eye doctor appointment that morning. So TJ took me to my eye doctor appointment. And then we had to meet Veneta at Legoland. So we met Veneta at Legoland. And believe it or not only did we spend the entire day with Veneta at Legoland for the first time in a long time, and you can actually check that YouTube video out. It's the most recent YouTube video I have of Legoland. And because of the nostalgia, I decided to do like a black and white kind of theme. I decided to do a narration, like how much, I missed going to Legoland with Veneta. So, if you really want to get to know how much that trip meant to me, watch the first 5 minutes, because it is really good. Veneta took us into a brand new section that had just opened. It was all about the history of Cypress Gardens, how it became Legoland, and there was a lot of homage to the park. There was even a section about a TV show just on Lego builders. I thought that was really cool. It's called the Lego Masters. The park had just turned 10 years old not too long ago, so they had a big cake, Lego cake, of course. And then they had just built this big dome over the Lego Miniland. So I actually got to take my first thorough walk through Lego Miniland for the first time in 10 years. Almost 10 years, 9 years to be specific. But, still, it was, really neat to be able to do that. And, it was neat having Veneta show us all the changes that they had made. So we got done with Legoland, and Veneta took us over to Peppa Pig, and they actually allowed me to film as long as I promised not to upload it to YouTube until that Friday. And I said, that's fair. And so I filmed as much as I could before my phone unfortunately died. And I didn't have a battery pack at the time, which is stupid on my part. But, it was still neat. We did a couple of rides, so Veneta really wanted to do the coaster, the Peppa Pig coaster, so that was kind of a neat thing to do. And then Veneta really wanted us to do the hot air balloon ride. I love seeing her face gleaming. It was really neat. And then we also went and just walked around the entire place, and Vanita was showing us how they were like doing giveaways and whatnot. But Vanita, being an employee, was allowed to get us give us a sneak preview of Peppa Pig Park 2 days before they actually opened. I believe the media came in the very next day, but we got there a day before the media got there. And I believe the Tim Tracker came the very next week, and I just thought that was so amusing that I saw something before the Tim Tracker did, and all because Vanita was able to help us out. So we got done with Legoland, and for the first time in a long time, I went and ate at Chipotle, and that was actually TJ's idea, and Vanita was all on board, like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So all four of us, I should say, all sat down and ate dinner together. And TJ and Kay don't always stick with me, but it was nice seeing Vanita just wanting to just stay by my side and just sit and talk. And I really enjoyed that. And I wish Vanita had been more available during the trip, but I always enjoy the time that I did have with her. I believe that she did go to Disney with us at one point during the trip as well, but this was still 2 years ago, and I don't 100% remember every little thing that went down during that trip anymore. I do remember that because I remember at one point when we were at Legoland, backing up a little bit, I couldn't fit on the not the Great Lego Race, flying coaster, flying school, and this was literally over a year before they closed it for good. And we really tried. I was just a little too big at the time, and I mean TJ even tried. So I sat outside of Vanita. She didn't want to do it, and she just happened to look at her phone, and it was no lie 2:22 p.m. on February 22nd, 2022. Like, how cool is that, right? And she just happened to make the comment, and then she told TJ and Kay afterwards, after they came back from their ride. But it was still, a nice 5 minutes or 10 minutes that I got to share with Vanita, not having TJ or Kay there. It's kind of nice. I believe that same trip, I did go on Velocicoaster for the very first time, but I don't remember offhand if Vanita was there. But I do remember that I did get to do that with TJ. Now, I was smart that day, and I had TJ stop at Publix ahead of time. What I always do when I go to Florida, now this has nothing to do with Vanita or anything, and Vanita would encourage this, by the way, because trust me, she's told me something similar. And by the way, we met Vanita at Publix. That's right, the day we went to Legoland, because I had gone in just to go get drinks, and this was still back when my first boss was there, because I intentionally went behind his back and he didn't even see me. I was like, but anyway, what I always do is I go into, I always order through the Publix app, a Publix sub for the store that, I'm wanting to order my sub through. It could either be the one in Lake Wales that's off of 27. It could also be the one by Advent Health on 27 just before I get to Disney. That usually one of those two is what I aim for. If I'm going to Legoland, I order from my old store, the one I used to work at. And then I put it into a big cooler, and between the ice packs and the water bottles, the sub stays pretty cool. And then you keep some chips and other snacks in there. That's actually a good amount of food, especially even a half a sub. You'd be surprised. That fills me up. And there's $20 I saved on spending money at Disney just on one meal alone. Now, obviously that's just one meal. And I actually talked about this in a YouTube series I did earlier in the year in the winter called How I Have Saved Money in Central Florida. And I also mentioned, I'm going to say it again, I don't mind going out for like dinner that night. So, like, usually when I go around TJ's birthday, we'll stop at Red Robin or something on the way back to Polk County specifically. And we'll go have like a cheap burger or something. I mean, I will. TJ may not necessarily, but I mean, sometimes it's free for him, sometimes it's not, but I can eat at Red Robin for less than $10 if I really need to. But that's one of the reasons why I enjoy packing a public sub for lunch, because it's like, okay, that's less than $10. And then I go to Red Robin, that's less than $10 plus, the tip. So, but, anyway, there were times on my 2020, or during my 2022 trip, when I really just appreciate having Vanita around. That reminds me, so TJ was celebrating his 28th birthday, and of course, he invited a bunch of people, including Vanita. And once again, I was really thankful she was there. So TJ had to drive off to Posner Park for personal reasons. I'm not going to go into it. So TJ left me in charge of cooking dinner. I was like, whatever. I mean, I'm not very good at it, but I'll make it work. So eventually my friends showed up, and Vanita, of course. And even though TJ was ignoring everybody watching his dumb NASCAR race, at least I had everybody else to sit and talk to, while, despite the fact that TJ was inside with his eyeballs glued to the television set. If I could have plucked out TJ's eyes and glued them to the television set, TJ still would have sat motionless on the couch. That was a joke, but I wouldn't actually go that extreme. And trust me, every time TJ has invited Vanita over to just have dinner or something, TJ has done something to this extent, and she doesn't like it, but that doesn't stop him from doing it, and it's very frustrating. And that's why I'm very thankful I've had her there, because at least I have somebody there to talk to, somebody that agrees with me, someone that's not going to sugarcoat whatever he does or defend him, unlike somebody I know, and it's not Katie, by the way. So it's like it's just frustrating, and that's actually something I want you guys to know about now. With where I am with my friendship with Vanita, now that we're coming to 2023 trip, I just really wanted you guys to know, especially now that the next one is actually going to be discussing Vanita's first initial reaction to meeting Katie, and how this is going to really change the friendship. And I think you're going to really like this next vlog. Is by this point, Vanita and I are close enough that I can come to her in private and be like, TJ's like really frustrating me, and I can't always go to Kay about the same thing. Sometimes Kay will agree with me, but 9 times out of 10, Kay is going to sugarcoat whatever TJ does. Yes, I think you kind of figured that out, who I was referring to. And 9 times out of 10, Kay will turn a blind eye to whatever TJ does. But Vanita 100% agrees with me every single time, is 100% on my side. And it's just so nice having somebody there to talk to. And even though I'm up here in northern Kentucky, I still have to deal with them, as frustrating as that is. So, I make it work. I might call him, once in a while. I might message him every day, but, as far as having a really personal, like, down-to-earth conversation that involves getting really personal and talking about, like, my marriage, my upcoming marriage, and talking about my personal issues, talking about my trials and tribulations, and so on and so forth. That's kind of stuff I don't necessarily talk to TJ about. I might do it somewhat when I'm around him in person, and I might somewhat talk to him about my frustrations of Katie when I'm on the phone with TJ, or when I'm with him in person. But I never go to the extreme or to go in as much in depth as I do with Vanita. And that's what I really appreciate about her. So, Lord willing, I will have the energy to do another YouTube video tomorrow afternoon before I take my nap. I'll let you guys know. The important thing is that I will be back with my in-laws again come Sunday. So tomorrow is going to be a really interesting day. I'm working 4 a.m. to noon. Then I'm going to go back to work that evening and help them close. So I'm going to be exhausted. But it's worth it since I didn't work on a Friday for a change. First time in months. And on top of that, I need the overtime anyway, so I'm all for it. But I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out.